Morning, everybody. We're here to visit Bill.
Good morning. Hi, Tom.
Hey, Bill. Thank you for visiting us to your beautiful home here.
Thank you, my friend. Welcome to my backyard.
All right, let's start over here. Like nice Weber grill.
Oh, yeah. Do a little barbecuing.
This is an awesome backyard. Let me do a quick pan of your backyard here.
Sure.
Awesome setup here. Who would never know you have a bonsai nursery in your backyard?
Thanks.
You want to talk about any of these trees right here? These 3 trees you want to talk about?
Well, this one I've had for quite a while, and it used to have the micro leaves on it, but after the next season came, it came in the full size, and it's been a pretty fun tree to work on.
I noticed you have some fall color. So are you getting this really cool morning and really hot afternoon sun?
I think that's what's doing it to this one. Yeah, I'm having trouble with some of my maples too with this heat.
Oh.
Over here is a needle juniper that I styled recently. It's
Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know it swiveled.
it's got the the charret on the top, but then I got the live top going on top of that. So yeah, these swivel.
Anything significant about the tree over here?
This was a Paul Vicentis tree. I got it from his estate sale, and it was probably this wide, and it was all mature foliage. And I brought it back in to where I could keep it alive, and then got the immature foliage back, was what I wanted, and then started styling it.
Oh.
And turned out pretty nice.
Oh.
I like it. It was a tribute to him. You know?
Let's look at the base real quick. I totally did not expect that for swiveling. So how does that work
I
out?
put a Lazy Susan underneath there, and then I got a tile from Home Depot, and I matched the board to it, and I screwed the board to the Lazy Susan, and then silicone the tile on top of the board.
Oh, that's really cool. So it doesn't rust from underneath.
Yeah, and then
That's really. I love that one. That's really cool.
And all 3 of these are like that. Where you can
Just
turn around if you want to, sunshine, and you don't want to lift them. You just turn them.
I think that's really cool. I'm gonna steal that when next time we do this.
So this is a Trident Maple I've had for about 8 years, I guess. I bought it at a bonsai event, and really enjoyed it. Thought it had really good movement. I actually went to get a tree, and as I was going to grab it, a gentleman grabbed it, and I was like, no. And I talked to the guy, and he said, I'm bringing some more in tomorrow.
Oh.
So I said, okay, I'll be back. So this is the one I got for that.
Nice.
And yeah.
I noticed you have a really cool backyard. You want to talk about your backyard here?
Sure. I have a fire pit that's like a log. Sit out here at night and have fires with a nice glass of wine and listen to music. It's pretty nice.
I love your shade structure. That's really for the humans, right? That's for the humans, not the
Yes,
trees.
Yes. Yep.
And you have a beautiful pool. People, you can still have a bonsai nursery and a pool and a full backyard still. So Bill, we're back here. Do you have, how do you get into bonsai really quick?
I got into bonsai, I made this, this used to be a koi pond, and I hand dug it with a shovel. I have 25 million year old fish fossils in the rock. I had somebody do the work on the rock, and I contracted out everything I couldn't do myself, but I had planted a tree up here in this corner here where this one juniper is, and I went online and it said, oh, the trunk is supposed to be so thick, the branches should be only so far. So I started doing that, and I was like, wow, it looks amazing. So I actually took it out and put it in a pot and stuck another tree in there. But that was my first tree that I had done.
And that's how you got to bonsai?
Yes, and then after that, I was like everybody else, buying the trees that are about the size of your little finger, and you work them, and then you twiddle your thumbs, going, "What am I going to do next?" So.
Oh, then
that's
you
how
got hooked. That's how you got hooked.
Yeah.
Are
that's how-
you still practicing bonsai with a sensei or
Yes,
with
I
a
still go
club?
to Al Nelson's house. Al Nelson, which he helps me out quite a bit. He's a very good teacher, very instructive, has a unique way of doing things, and
It's Al though. It's
It's
Al.
Al,
It's
yeah.
Al.
one of his things that he always tells me is, "Well, Bill, you ready to bite the bullet?"
That sounds like Al right
I'm
there.
like, I'm ready.
Let's walk over here. This is a really cool. So, you know how we always say, you know, you don't live with your bonsai, but you live with your bonsai here in their backyard. I think it's really awesome. Really cool setup.
Thanks.
I mean, this is. I don't think you can live any better than this. Look at that, people. I'm jealous. Honey, no, I don't want this. No, you don't want this. You want a nursery. This is a cool grape. I just noticed your grape right here.
Okay, this one, it had grapes on it, but either the birds or the kids ate them off.
The kids.
I collected this tree about 8 years ago from a field that they were mowing over to put tilt-up buildings on, and I had gotten about 20 of these, and over the time I gave them to friends and whatnot like that, but I kept a few of them. This
Really
is one
gnarly
of them.
trunk. I love that one.
Yeah, it's completely hollow all the way through it. I built these shells not too long ago with my brother, and every time I get shells, somehow plants end up getting on them.
I think it's just natural.
I thought, oh, I'm gonna be able to put more trees on there, and I just had everything so compact that when I spread it out, it fills it right up. But anyways.
There's no such thing as empty shells. You have empty.
No.
You have an inch space. We can find room.
And I like all kinds of plants and trees. Like I got lavender stars, this little bougainvillea, junipers, little hinoki cypress here. Kind of cool looking. I've had this one for quite a while. I usually have trouble with these. I have olives, just a little bit of everything.
Really eclectic mix here. I love it.
Yeah, olives and.
Is this really your Shohin size, probably?
Yeah, because the size.
It's a
I can't
size.
I also have like carnivorous plants that have these little cups on them that the flies fall into, and kind of cool.
Let's walk on the other side of this lovely palm tree here.
And then over here, I have pomegranates, staghorn ferns. My granddaughter made this tree. I have a 5-year-old granddaughter. She loves to work on the bonsais with me. I actually have a video of her doing
You're
it.
getting her into bonsai. I love it. You know,
Yeah,
training the
and
next generation.
She'll sit on my shoulder while I'm watering trees because I water by hose, and I have to carry her around the whole time. And she'll tell me like, "Grandpa, I don't think that branch should be right there." So I'll let her cut it off just because of what she said. I figured it'll grow back, but she likes to do the bonsai. Yeah, I have different trees here. This was an experiment. This is a variegated pomegranate that was kind of just a big shrub.
A variegated pomegranate.
Yeah, see how the leaves, they get white on them?
Oh, I never noticed they're variegated.
So anyways, I thought, oh, I'll just do an experiment. So I'm gonna try and make a apex right here and just have this run down.
As a cascade.
Yeah.
How's it working?
It's living, it's growing, so.
And then you had that for this year?
I've had it for about 1.5 years, 2 years like
Okay.
this now. Yeah, so it's growing. I have a bunch of little stuff. This is like a little olive. At one point I hollowed it out with a Dremel tool. I was in a hollowing phase. But yeah, I'm having trouble with the sun burning up stuff.
I think it's, you know, it doesn't matter where you live in Southern Cal. It's our water and our hot Santa Ana winds are like burning most of those deciduous trees up.
Right. Like, let's see, I got a cork oak up here that died and came back. It had a little bud, so it's a completely different tree than what it was.
How did your tree do? Because they're like pretty bulletproof, I think.
Well, I went on vacation and they were supposed to water my son, and he didn't. And I was literally going to throw that tree away, and then I noticed a little bud on it, so I had to cut it off and start the whole thing over again.
Well, see, it's bulletproof. You know, it didn't water, it came back.
Yeah.
It's pretty bulletproof.
I have like this olive tree right here. I got this at a nursery over by Knott's Berry Farm. And
So Bill lives in Bellflower, so he's right in between the coastline and the inland valley. So the weather's great. I admit the weather is great, but I think this is a great day too.
This is a flowering pear, and I cut it off. I bought it at a nursery. I think I paid $60 for it.
How much you pay for this tree?
$60.
I'm jealous, man.
But I think I cut it below the graft because it's never flowered since I did this. So I made a mistake on this one.
Well, I don't think you made a mistake. For $60, that's not a mistake. I think that's an investment.
I paid $60 for this tree also. This is a Canary Island pine. I bought out a local nursery underneath the high tension wires. I try to look for deals. They're out there if you look. You just got to go in the back corners of the stuff that's been neglected and messed up, and they practically give it away because they think they're getting over on you, but actually you're getting over on them, right?
So what's your plan with your mistake here with your?
I'm gonna try and graft, I believe. See if I can have somebody help me
Graft back onto
graft back onto it.
The trunk looks really awesome. I mean,
for $60, I don't think you can go wrong.
No, I don't think you can.
Yeah, so
I see are you a bird collector or?
I am a bird collector, and I have a whole bunch of finches in there, and of different kinds and types, and I have little quails in there.
You have quails in there?
Yeah, they make that little quail sound. You know how the quails do?
Oh, I never noticed there were quails in there.
Their babies are like this big. They look like little yellow chickens, but they're like this big.
Oh.
And they're so small they fit through the screen. Here's a redwood.
What's the story behind your redwood here?
I've had this for a long time. I had the apex tree right here coming up, and it was beautiful. And over time, it just slowly died. So I left it for a long time as a deadwood feature, but I cut it off one day recently, and I thought, you know what? Most redwoods, they cut them down.
So I mean, it looks really green and really healthy. So
yeah, and I'm getting another shoot over here that's going to be another tree, you know, coming off right next to it there.
So do you have any like dieback, any like browning issues at all?
Well, I get a little bit, but I just pull it off. It's just here and there, you know.
That's interesting because I've been trying to grow redwood, or been looking at redwoods, and then I've been having bad stories.
Also, like you can see in here, at one point I burnt it and I hollowed them out, you know, as like the real redwoods are. See how?
Oh, the lightning strike.
Yeah, the lightning strike, and you can see that one had partial. It's healing up though. This is a cork elm up here that was from a cutting, and I got it going. It's kind of a little warm for it right now, but I think it's going to be fine. This is a California juniper here that I kind of liked. The bottom of this rotted out on me, so I filled it in with like a plaster. I didn't know what to do and tried to feather it in and keep it looking decent.
Oh, with a hollow right there.
Yeah, so
that looks pretty good.
I mean, it stopped it from rotting more. I don't know if that's the proper way to do it, but you gotta
what did you
experiment.
do?
One thing I will say, guys, is experiment and try new things with your trees all the time.
Was it you use epoxy, you said, or?
No, like a plaster from Home Depot.
Did you? Is there any rotting underneath it when you repot it?
It was hollow.
Oh,
so I filled the whole thing in.
When's the last time you repotted that tree?
Last year.
Did you see any rotting underneath the?
No.
Okay, so that's kind of a question.
Yeah,
you know?
no, nothing under the bottom. This is a black pine that I've had for many years. I actually had it down at one time to very small, like half-inch foliage everywhere. And it looked awesome. And then I started working a lot of hours and stuff, and I couldn't keep up with the candle pruning and whatnot, and it resorted back to the old way it was. This is a bougainvillea I recently dug up out of somebody's yard, and it's going to be very nice.
I noticed you have a trend. You're a Yamadori hunter, or is it Yaradori hunter? I see.
Urban.
Urban
Yamadori hunter. That's my thing. For example, like this tree right here, I got at a nursery. I paid $9 for it. I bought a whole bunch of them and sold them. But
What's your favorite part about bonsai then? You know, is it the thrill of the hunt?
My favorite part about bonsai is you take a tree that doesn't look like much and you work it, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, this thing is beautiful. It's art. It's living art. And you're the artist, right? So that's what I enjoy about it. And I've taken so many trees that look pretty mundane and turned them into stuff where they look, to me, they look really nice.
Awesome.
Little Shinpaku here. This is a California juniper that I collected at one of my friend's house in
Wait.
Acton.
Someone's house, huh? So
Yes. He's got a bunch of them on his property, but they're really too big. But down the street from him, in the hills, I know where there's some fantastic trees that people say they're no longer around. I know where there's some at, but I just don't know how to get a permit to collect those.
Oh, that's
They are absolutely stunning. I mean, unbelievable. I know where they're at though.
That's a problem with collecting, especially California juniper, is getting the right permits before you get caught, and then you get fined.
You don't want to poach, you know.
No.
But then I have here's another black pine. I bought this at a nursery underneath the high tension wires, and it was about 6 foot tall, so I tried to shorten it. And
I'm seeing a theme here. You like shopping.
I do. All my trees, I went to the convention in Riverside, and there's a bunch of nurseries around there, and I bought this tree for $60.
Funny.
And last time I went, and I put it in a pot. And I actually got a few extra trees from the guy, and he said, hey, put them in a pot for me and keep some. And I do that too. So I get my trees for free.
I noticed that you have no nursery pots at all. Is there any reason why?
I don't like nursery pots on my shelves per se. I mean, it's okay, but I would rather go with an oversized plastic bonsai pot. It just gives a little bit more framing for the tree and just makes it a little bit more
not nursery?
Yeah.
Not nursery?
Yeah, not nursery, exactly.
You want to talk about your oak tree, your little small oak tree on the top there.
Okay, there's a story with this tree. That particular tree right there is one of my favorites, and it's because of this story. They say all bonsais have stories. Well, that one kind of does. I used to have a blue jay that was flying around my backyard, so I started throwing peanuts in the backyard. And he would take the peanuts and take them off and hide them somewhere. And I kept doing it. I kept throwing the peanuts closer and closer and closer to where he would take them out of my hand. And then he would take them off my lap. And I have a bonsai bench over here that I work on. And whatever tree I was working on, that blue jay would sit on top of that tree as long as I'm on that bench working. And my next door neighbor over here one day, he goes, I don't know where all these peanuts are coming from in my backyard. And I was like, ooh. But they were from the blue jay hiding them. So one day my neighbor said, hey, I saw your blue jay. And I go, yeah. And he goes, it was in a cat's mouth. I'm like, no. But to make a long story short, I was weeding my bonsais, and I pulled what I thought was a weed out, and I looked at it, and it was a little oak tree. And I was like, no way, that the blue jay stuck some acorns in my pots. So this one here, I dug out of the other pot, and I planted it. So this is a gift from the blue jay that used to sit with me and watch me do the bonsai. So that's why that tree has kind of cool meanings to it.
You want to talk about this California is awesome looking, really good.
Thank you. This one I've had for about 10 years. It used to have a really nice apex on it, and it slowly just started losing it, and I couldn't figure out why. And there was sap leaking from it, which could be a beetle.
Yeah, bark beetle.
Bark beetle. So this is how it is right now, and it's still a nice tree, even though I kind of lost the upper part.
You got to talk about your maples. I'm a maple guy, and your maple looks really good. I know there's some leaf damage, but comparatively where I live, it's.
This has really gotten burned, but again, from a nursery, and $60 I paid. It seems to be my thing. But
have you met a guy called Mike Kelly? He has his trees. He buys his tree for $19.95.
But I had a bunch of deadwood on here because this thing was like 15 foot tall, so I cut it off at the nursery, and I had all the deadwood, and there was a big piece of deadwood right here, and the whole thing rotted out one day, and I was going to put a little lime sulfur on it or the hardener to keep it from
Yeah,
rotting, and the whole thing just came off, and I just picked it out, and it was the whole thing's hollow. You can put your hand way in there. So I got a hollow maple tree that's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. This tree right here is a cutting actually from that other pomegranate over there that I put in my front yard. It's kind of weather beaten right now with the heat, but it's a twisted pomegranate. It'll be fine in a couple months. This is an oak tree one of my friends gave me that moved to Indiana, and it was about 4 foot tall, and I cut it and I put some wire in it to give it a little bit of movement. This is a sweet gum that I got at a nursery for free. I go and talk to the guys, and they ended up giving me like 4 or 5 sweet gums, and I gave some of them away. But anyways, this is a tree that was Manny's from Kofukai. I bought it from him for $20. Like one. Yes, I have. Yes, so that was Manny's tree I bought from him.
And Manny passed away about a year ago, wasn't it? Now?
Yeah, probably about a year, I think. So I like that tree.
Oh, I really quick about your bench setup here. So you have a shade cloth. You know the percentage of your shade cloth?
I think it's 40%, maybe 60%. It's the Home Depot
Special?
Yeah.
I love it. And then you have 3 tiers. It looks like you have 3 tiers here. You got
3 tiers.
You got a tier at the bottom, tier in the middle, and then tier on top. And they're about 1.5 feet across each one?
Yeah, the top shelf's a little bit smaller, but yeah, these two are the same. And this shelf's like 10 years old, so it's starting to get worn out and a little bit rotten. So basically what I really think I just have to do is replace the shelving. The frame is okay. And overall, though, it's pretty good.
Did you like? Is it easy to get to the top shelf?
Well, sometimes I have to move one tree to get to the top, but I can step on the shelf.
Okay.
So.
Oh, so they're built. You can step on it.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
yeah. I climb all over these things.
Perfect.
Yeah. So.
You got to talk about your workstation. Let me turn around here so,
okay.
so the viewers can look at your station. This is a really cool station. This is a really cool station. You want to talk about how functional it is, what you like about it, what you don't like about it?
It's really functional. I drew it up one day when I was at work. But I have a swivel here, and sometimes I'll use this or not if I want to catch the stuff I'm working on. I have a bucket that's here where I can just sweep right into it, and then I can remove the bucket to empty it.
That's a nice feature.
And yeah, I just can sweep right into it. And then I have a wire reel here. The wire reel didn't really work as well as I thought it would because some of the wire cinches up on the roller and it gets kind of tight. So that's kind of a little thing. So the copper wire wouldn't fit in there, so I bought this at an estate sale, and I bought this little tray assembly with it just to keep stuff in there. And then down here I have my lime sulfur, some jute, my HB 101, my cloud covers, stuff I use when I work on my trees. Also torches, so when I do gins I can burn them and then lime sulfur them. Inside of here I have my my tools, Dremel tools and sawzalls and stuff like that. And I have a rubber coated on here so it's easy to sweep and it doesn't mess with my stuff, and a little tool tray. And then on the other side, I have a little section where I keep all my little pots and stuff, but I've been using most of them up. I'm kind of pot challenged at this time.
If you had to redesign this or redo it, what would you change?
Not too much. The only thing that doesn't work proper is the wire thing. So I don't know if that spun better or something maybe. I have some shakers right here for soil, like over here, and I have some more shakers over here with a different size screen. And over here, I don't have any soil in here right now because I use it up, but I have my soil right here where I can just pull it out. And I have my high-tech applicator.
Hey, you know, that's pretty nice.
You know, and then I have different size ones for how much I want it, all the way down to just a little teeny scoop. But anyways. So that can go in there, and it's very comfortable work, and everything right out my hands. So.
Great. 1 or 2 tips for our members or new beginners. Would you couple
tips?
Yeah.
One thing is have fun. Don't worry about it. If you kill a tree, you're probably going to kill a couple doing this. But the main thing is to have fun, to learn, ask questions, and experiment. Don't be afraid to try things, to bend a tree, to lean it on its side, turn it on its side, whatever it is. You can make really nice trees out of material that's not so great. You just have to give it a try. It's fun. Enjoy it.
Awesome. Now, if you guys if you like the video, leave a comment, to give a thumbs up. And until, thanks a lot, Bill. We'll talk to everybody next week. See ya.